What's up, gang? What's up, gang? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is going to be our week portfolio. Now that I think about it, this is going to be week 29. We just did week 28 last week this time, so this is going to be week 29. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over my Robinhood portfolio. Second, we will hit our Excel spreadsheet. Third, I will show you a brief PowerPoint on my dividends payout for this past week for Group A. Number 4, we'll hit snowballanalysis.com website. And 5, we will conclude with our Q&A questions from our YouTube channel, from you, the viewers. All right, so let's get with it. All right, so currently you can see that Robinhood has me having an invested value of $42,860. If you add the margin to that, it'll be about 80 something thousand total invested, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so live right now we're up almost $25. Today we're up almost $500. For the week, we are up $3,400. For the month, we're down over $11,000. Let's back up here. So this is how we progressed it this week. Let's see here. Let's get our dates. All right, so this is the 17th, which would have been Monday. All right, and then Tuesday we had a down day, the 18th. Made some recovery here the 19th, and sort of traded sideways here on the 20th, and made a small recovery on the 21st. And now we are here for this weekend. All right. So the month, we're down 11.2K. As you can see, the month, we was around the 40s. We sort of come down and made some recovery, still in our 40s. All right. 3-month progression, we're down 23,000, over 23,000. Year to date, we're down 14.5K. For the past year, we're up over $7,700. And all time we're up just over $772. All right, so here our total margin available is over 63,000. We borrowed 42,139. We have some pending reinvestment drip for 28.59. Our buffer stands here currently at 12.38%, just over $5,100. Our buying power is at 21, and our interest rate is 5.75. Our daily interest is 6.44. All right. All right, so let's hit it quickly. All right, so Coney stands at 858. Our market value is over 45,368. We're down 27, 126. I think we were down, I know 29. We may even had hit 32 or 34. But the market made some recovery. Coney made some ground, recovered some ground. And we did also buy an additional 100 shares of Coney. We bought an additional 100 shares of Coney. Average cost now stands at $13.68. It was 13, I believe, 79 or 78. All right, so just to show you that I did do that purchase, there we are right here. The 21st at 12.40, 100 shares at the price of $8.43 a share. All right. Misty currently stands at 21.65. Our market value is over $21,650. We're down over 4,000. Average cost is 25.72, and we have 1,000 shares. All right. Now these are going to be the positions that we gained dividend this past week for Group A. First one is going to be YBTC. Currently at over $2,275 in the negative for 50 shares. Our next one dividend that we got this week, and I'll show you what we got on the PowerPoint. But just for some of you who want authenticity, Integrity, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to scroll down, and right here, is this it? Yes. March the 21st, you had 50 shares, 56 cents, $28. YieldMax currently stands at 14.24. Market value 7.12, down over $67. A dividend payout for here, 50 shares, 15 cents, 7.63. Tesla stands at 8.25, over $2,400, down over $1,200. Average cost of $12.43 for 300 shares. Dividend 30 for 300 shares, 46 cents. We got 139.14. And YBIT, yes, YBIT, 9.95. Market value 616, excuse me, down just over $259. 62 shares for 14.13. Dividend 62 shares, 44 cents, $27.01. And OT 670, over $2,600. We're down almost $1,000. Average price is $9.12 for 400 shares. This is a weekly ETF for those that still may not know. It used to be a monthly, but now it's weekly. 400 shares at 10 cents, $39.08. Now, just to show you the PowerPoint that I did that week. All right, as you can see here, we've got 62 shares at 43.57 was 27.01. I do some rounding with my figures there. Robinhood does a little bit, I think. So if you had any of these other positions, you can see the amount here that you would get. Next, we got Tesla. That was 300 shares. We got $139.14. Based on my calculation, I round, Robinhood does a little round, so they're off a tad bit. And if you haven't owned any of these shares, this is what you would get over here. This is what they previously paid. This is what the last payout was last week. YieldMax had 50 shares, $7.63. Here's the number of shares times the price. This is a roundabout figure that you would get if you own this. All right, OT. Now I forgot when I showed you this slide like this past week on OT, I forgot to give you the number of shares that I had. I forgot it. So here it is here. I had 400 shares. I got 39.08 previously, current. All right, and lastly we had YBTC. We can see that price went up to 56 cents compared to 32. I had 50.31 shares and I got 28.36. All right. All right, so we're done with that. Now let's go to the Excel spreadsheet. All right. All right. All right. So far in the month of March, I will be getting my check this week. I got a text not too long ago letting me know what that amount would be. So for the conclusion of month of March, my active pay is 38.37.87. Small increase of from last month because small variations in hours worked. All right, so for the month of March so far, we got one more week. So I got some weekly ETFs. Some of the ones I showed you: YMAG, BTC, OT. Those are weekly. I don't have a primary one from the. Let's see here. Do I have that pulled up? Yes. So this is what we're going to be getting this week. For those who have any of these positions, you will be getting a payout this week. Now, I would love to have me some Palantir and perhaps some Morrow. Who knows? I mean, if the market shoots up, like Monday and Tuesday, and increase my buying power. I may by Wednesday nibble or Thursday nibble in one of these two. All right, so we know we're going to get paid in YMAX. We know we're going to get paid in OT and round here YBTC. All right, let's get back to the spreadsheet here. All right, so last week we had 51.12.45. We got additional dividends. So that increased our dividends for the month of March to 53.90. And the coming week, I don't think it's gonna push this over $5,500. We may nibble at 5,400 and some change. Like I said, I don't really own anything for Group B, so. But you can see here our total active income was over 13,000. Our passive income right now stands at over 19,000, outpacing my active income around $5,000 to $6,000. My average, my active income average is I'm averaging just over 43.65 a month. My passive income for the past 3 months, I am averaging just over $6,500 per month. Yes, so that's where we stand. Robinhood Gold stands at $15 for the past 3 months. Robinhood interest on this amount here, which has been up as high as 53,000, currently stands at $675.25 for an average cost of $225.08 for the past 3 months of interest charged on my Robinhood account. My 401k loan still stands at $24,362, and my total debt, this is, to my knowledge, this is everything, including my what you call it, what's the proper word for your cell phone, your internet and cable. I forgot what you call the type of expense, but all that, and including gas and whatnot. And then we got these loans here that I owe, and these are the interest rates, which are high. And this is the interest year to date, and this is the total. So in 3 months, I've paid, let's see how much I'm averaging. That's 6315. 6315 divided by 3. I am paying over $2,100 in interest per month. I cannot wait to get this margin taken care of so I can start nipping this in the bud, because this 6,500 could be invested into my YieldMax or Round Hill or Curve ETF, making me money. All right, so this is where we're staying at 250, 314 for the month of March. You can see beginning we was at 250, 584. So we haven't really made any significant reduction in that, and that's simply because I bought some more Coney. There was something else I bought too, and so that instead of it, this probably should be maybe at 40K. But anyway, we nibbled at Coney, and I'm not saying I won't again before that, but that's where we stand. So right now we haven't made any deposits in our Robinhood account for the month of March, and we haven't made any withdrawals from the month of March for Robinhood. So everything you see is still as it is in this account. Now I did do a balance transfer. I don't know if it was this month or the end of last month, but I'll show you that in my crypto.com account. I mean, not crypto.com, my snowballanalysis.com account. All right. All right. So that's actually where we headed now. So let's go there. All right. All right. So the market value is showing is 42,406. Let's compare that to Robinhood, 42.86. Not too far off. Let's get back here. All right. Total invested, total profit. It's saying I'm at a negative 73,000. Oh, let's look at this. All right. So capital gain, I'm down over 35,000. Realized profit and loss is saying 83,000. My total dividends, it's saying, I guess since I started back in like September or August, it's showing that I made over $43,000 in dividends. So I guess yeah, that's right. So you take the 83, I'm assuming add the 46, and that gives me a capital gain of 30 negative 35, because we know we're down about 27,000 in Tony. So that seems about right. All right. So here it shows Friday's top gainers, which was Misty, was up 1%, SMCY 5%, Tesla 3.9%, Doge, so forth. Losers, yeah, that would be YBIT, uh, 0.2. Recent open common events, we got dividends coming in for YieldMax, YBTC, OT, I think, yeah, OT this weekend. That's why it's showing that. All right, and then it shows the dividend paid. So, oh, it's saying the March of 27th, March 28th. Okay, I guess that's saying that's when we're going to get paid, March 28th. Yes, that is correct. All right, earnings for that account. All right, so now we can see that our monthly average, I said I was averaging what over here? I said my monthly average was saying 65 for these three. So I don't know if they haven't what they haven't taken in consideration. But you can see here they're saying just over 6,000 is what I'm projected to be averaging now. This was at I think at 12K, then it came down to 10K, and now it's at 6K. I believe it might even hit 8K, then came to 6. So this is what we've gotten so far for the month of March, according to snowballanalysis.com. That's showing 53.34. I am showing 53.53. So not too far off. 53.34, 53.53. That's not too far off. So that's pretty good. All right. So the month of April, they're projecting over $5,400 again. I'm hoping things will pick up, and that would not be the case, because for May, they had me projected at one time getting almost $22,000 to $24,000 in dividends. But you can see now with the forecast now, um, it's it's down a lot further than what it was. So that's what we got in January. This is what we got in February, and this is what we gotten so far in March. All right. AMC, saying AMC Holdings, best stock under $3 according to what? According, this article is processed by AI to see the source. Click here. Let's see what that shows. AMC Holdings Incorporated, best stock under $3. Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. So this is what I got invested in Coney here. It's over 72,000. Misty over 25,000. Tesla 3,700. SMCY over 38. OT 38. YBIT 69. 184 for AIYY. Total dividends received from Misty over 20, almost 27,000. Misty is almost 14,000. Tesla's 1,800. SMCY 1,600. 901 for OT. 747 and 143. You can see this is where we stand right now as far as profit and loss. We're down over almost 28,000, just over 27,000 Coney, which is a big disappointment for my portfolio as far as what it's looking like right now, but I'm all right. So with 26,000 dividends received and the being down over 27,000, that puts me under for a total profit of a negative 433. So basically, I'm almost on broke even with the value of my account and the dividends I've received. So I pretty much broke even. So technically, if I were to sell all my Coney, I would be taking a $433 loss. You know. But anyway. All right, so with Misty, it's not quite that. Misty, we're showing profit of almost 12,000. We're only down 4,000 in Misty. Used to be. We're only down 4,000 Misty, so total profit is almost 12,000. That is very good. All right, so with Tesla, we're actually up $558. SMCY, we're up $903 in profit. Ulta, we're down just over $302. YBIT, we're up $287, and AIYY, we're down 40. So let's look at our total dividends. All right, so here it's saying 45,000, almost 46,000. Our total invested in this account right now it stands at 120,000. Current value is at 84,000. Dividends, like I said, is over 46,000. I mean, right at 46,000. Total value in the negative in this count is over 35,000. Realized profit and loss stands at a negative 34, and total profit is at $6,800. All right. All right. So deposit and withdrawal. For those who say, okay, well, what has he done with his Robinhood account? Let's see his total deposit. What have you total deposit in his account and withdrawal? So we'll start with 2023 here. As we see here in 2020, now it's this right here. I don't know where they got that because I did not have no $78,000 in his account back in 2021, so I don't know where they got that. All right, so here in 2022, said I deposited over $1,100 and withdrew none. This is where I think my account started to get a little traction here. All right, it said I had a deposit over $3,600 and withdrew over $2,500. But here we are, the most recent when I started doing with the YieldMax funds, the high yield ETFs in 2024. All right, so it's saying that we deposit over 30,000 into this account, and we withdrew over $6,400 in 2024. Let's see what we've done for 2025. 2025, it says we deposit over 13,000, almost 14,000, and I can tell you what that is. All right, part of that is going to be this right here. This 1685 is part of that deposit, and the other part of this is going to be 12,000 and some change from the transfer of my Charles Schwab account into my Robinhood account, giving a total of over 13,982. And I've withdrawn over 27.4810 from this Robinhood account in 2025, which will be pretty much on point. And this is money that I loaned out to someone, and now I know that this money will not be coming back because of a situation with that individual. It's unfortunate, but that is life. And that's how it is. All right. All right, let's get to our Q&A. That takes all of that. All right, so let's go here. All right. Underestimated portfolio says, so grateful for those video, bro. You are doing the Lord's work. I said, I appreciate that. If this is the Lord's work, I'm very glad to be in the purpose, his will. Shotgun Smurf 5740 says, thank you for the update. Anytime, bro. Glad to be of help. 936. What's that? Brentit. I don't know what that. 936 says, appreciate all you do. I says, that means the world to me, bro. Glad you liked it. Stay tuned. 6 months from now could be very different. All right. Let's check here. All right. 4 days ago, we got AK47 says, loving the transparency. I said, I tried to be as transparent as possible. I'm sure there's something I overlook in haste to get my weekly videos out. My good friend here, the best 118 said, I only have a small account, no margin, which is good to start out. A small account, no margin. That's and test the waters and and it's very good. He said that he bought some Tesla on Friday. Um, Today mostly SPYT. That may be Neos, or I don't know if that's Curve. I can't remember. Let's see, SPYT. Let's see who that is. SPYT. Oh, that's gonna be Defiance. Okay. All right, so they are around 1773, 52.20. This, all right. So they're averaging about 30 cents a month, which is pretty decent. Pretty decent. If it's holding it now, that it hasn't fluctuated that much, so that's pretty good. All right. All right, let's see here. Shotgun Smurf again says, love the updates. It'll come back around. I just keep averaging my costs down, which is a good strategy for those who bought maybe at the peak or near the peak, and now you're down 20%, 50%. One strategy is to dollar cost average, buying at the low price, especially if you had a small position at the high price, and now you can double that and cut that price in half. So you say you had 100 shares, it goes down 50%. You say, okay, I want a DCA, buy another 100 shares, and you cut that price in half. All right. All right. Franklin James says, good info, buy the dip on everything but April the 2nd. And then June is the boogeyman with the tariffs. Coney looks good. 443. That's a timestamp in my video, and I think I went there, but it didn't do something right. Let's try it again. See what happens. See, it doesn't. It kept doing it, so I'm not sure. All right. I said these dips are huge discounts. I hope I can. I hope I can. I should have said. I hope I can get a piece of the pie before they run back up. All right. Um, what's this? Neas storefront font 9118 says, brother, get out of all these dividend traps. Brother, get out of all these dividend traps. I said, now, if I didn't know what I was doing, I would think about it. But for now, I keep making my lower end average of 64 a month. Oh, I'm saying on my lower end, I'm averaging 64 a month. And that goes back to this right here. Passive income, I'm averaging 6,500 a month. And that's on the low end. No traps, total return here. So basically, I'm saying on the low end is 6,400. If we was making where we were back the end of November and December, I'd probably be averaging about 10 to 12K a month. All right. Zen Burban said, wow, you're in a, I won't say that because I don't curse. I don't curse. I promise you, I do not curse, period. I don't curse. I don't drink. Um, that's just something I do from being a godly man. I don't do that. But he says you are in a deep load of debt from 5.75 to 28.24 interest rate. You cannot do this with YieldMax. You will never get ahead and stay ahead. YieldMax requires that all the dividends be reinvested in, and you will still lose money. It's because of the now. It always goes down. I invested 500K, no margin, and just kept losing money. J Rug Pool. And that is his opinion. Um, I do believe that once you get your total return, it's free money. For instance, let's go back right here. What was it at? Snowball now. See here? We're talking with Misty, right? Misty is one of the good ones. So I did buy 300 more shares. So that went from 19 to 25 here, right? Um, but I'm at 11K in total. No, yeah, 13. 13 of the 25 I've gotten back, minus this negative 14 value. But if I had not added that another 3 or 4 thousand to Misty and it was still sitting at 19, and I'm at 13, I would be only maybe $6 or $5,000 from being in total return, meaning I will have my initial investment paid back. And so those are one of the positive sides of Coney, and I mean YieldMax, and Coney is definitely one of the negative sides right now. So I'm trying to be transparent about all that and share that with you all. All right, and I get what he's saying, but I'm looking for it to be different. Right now, it's just turbulent, so I don't mind. And that's what I told him. I said I enjoy 6,400 on the low end of dividends. On the high end, I will be making about 10 to 12. Just stay tuned. We'll see where this is going with the plan I have in place. He said, get out of YieldMax. Sold all mines 2 weeks ago. I would never go back. Buy asset says the only YieldMax I have is YMax, a very small account. I expect nothing out from except yield really. But even I wonder lately, everything else is high yield and safer. I said, now why would I do that? That's for when he's talking about getting. Oh, he's talking about getting out. I said I'm good for now. I don't see me selling anytime soon. I want to see how this play out. And then I said, it's just turbulence in the market and the tariffs. We'll continue to monitor how it flows and adjust as we move forward. Hopefully, I'll land on my feet. Bias said, he said, at YieldMax, it says, except in turbulence or out, isn't this track? Hold on, let me read this correctly. It said, except in turbulence or out, isn't this the track record of these funds? Sure, YMax has slowly dwindled, but at the end of the day, I might as well have my money focused where it can grow and pay me nice dividends. If I invested 20K and it now went to 12, but I'm still getting 1K a month in dividends, that's cool, but you'll have to basically always reinvest them. No, you don't have to always reinvest. You can stop investing and collect the $1,000 a month until you get your initial investment back, and then you making free money after that. I mean, those are just people's personal preference when they come to investing. Some people don't like NAV, can't stand it. Some people look for total return. Me, I'm here from the long haul, until I get my positions built up to where I want. I initially, at every position that I really want, and if I stay in it, I want to get 10,000 shares. And basically, if you get 150,000 and one of these good ones like Coney or Misty, you're pretty much making 10, 12K a month. All right. And then he said, yes. And he said, that's cool, but you have to basically reinvest them. I don't want that. I'd rather put the money into something that might have take a little longer, but has a more optimistic outlook on growth. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand. Well, with Curve, you can do that if you want that. Maybe with some of the round hills, you can do that. But I'm not here for growth. Growth is secondary for me in these accounts. I am strictly here for income. And if that means I'm making 10K a month, but my um, position is down 20K, I don't care. I don't care because I'm getting the 10K a month and total return. Once I get the initial investment back, I'm making house money. And that's my viewpoint. Everybody don't share that sentiment, and that is okay. That is okay. I don't, you know, people people all play with their money different, and I don't hate anyone who doesn't want to do that. Horse reaction said GDXY slept on. I said I see the monthly average is at 54 cents. I don't know. I mean, I've been following it, watching it, but I ain't been just Those YieldMax and Round Here Curve and EOS and Granite shares, all these people coming out with all these, I can't keep up. Uh, Janktown says Coney, the weakest link. It definitely is. And Ghost Star says time may prove a return on the dividend. Hope so. I got a tongue. And I asked him how much did he had. Did he have more than 5,400? But he didn't reply. All right, let's see here. I don't know if this is part of that. That's 13 days ago, so that's an old one. Let's go to our post. All right. All right, buy assets. How do you feel about Ulti? Most people curse it, but you clearly are a fan. I said, in all honesty, I was about to sell out of my position or no longer add to it. Then out of nowhere, Ulti went weaking. I meant to say weekly. So glad I so I said so I said, hold up, wait a minute. And another YouTuber said that some people had made some changes to the ulti, and I haven't verified that myself yet. So I wanted to wait and see what happens. I also think um, I also think I may now keep it because it's weekly and slowly build up my position. I would like to see a nice 100 to 500 a week. So I'll see what happens. Classic 4850 says, I like Coney. I said, I like Coney, but being down 20K. So I'm holding, waiting for a recovery down the road. Um, 2138 says, I started buying YieldMax. I am really excited to see where this will end in a year looks like. I said, okay. Also check out Round Hill and Curve ETFs. Storm Room said, nice. Do you hold? I said, at this current time, I don't own any. He said, okay. Sorry about the burp there. All right. All right. My good old friend 3138 says, bought some more OT. And I said, you're liking OT? On March the 3rd, I did have 100 shares once I hear they went weekly. So I think I'll build this position up slowly. I did hear this week that some people had anywhere from 30 to 45,000 shares of OT. No joke. I am going, yes, I did hear about that for some YouTubers. Some people had that much. So, and they was making 4 or 5K a month. All right. So that's it. Yep, that's it. So that concludes our um, week 29 video um, review of my account. As a disclaimer, this is just my personal opinion. It's somewhat for entertaining, but I'm just journaling my journal from being 260K thousand in debt to paying that debt off and becoming a multi-millionaire. All right. So do your own due diligence. YieldMax is definitely feeling the wrath of the market with the tariffs, if I'm saying it right. Um, Curve seems to be holding, Round Hill seems to be holding, and then there's different funds within each one of them that seems to be holding well. All right. So this is not a solicitation for you to buy YieldMax funds, but they was one of the first that came out with the high yield, and we can see because of the high yield, and when the market gets like this, that you lose a lot of your NAV. And for those that are concerned with that, you have Curve, Neos, Round Hill, and some other funds to look at that may hold better with their NAV. All right, I'm out. This is YieldMaxMindset. I appreciate the comments and questions. Keep them coming. I love you guys. All right, I'm out. God bless you.